Hello, my name is Grace Cho, and for our Intercultural Communications cultural research paper, I watched the movie The Schindler's List. I focus on the culture group Middle Easterns. So, The Schindler's List is about the World War II Holocaust when millions of Jews were killed. Oskar Schindler is the main character who, in the beginning, doesn't care about what's happening to the Jews, but later develops sympathy and concern for them when he sees the torture and terrible circumstances that they are going through. Uh, in the movie, Oskar Schindler is seen as inhumane at first, but later he becomes a more humane person when he uses all his money that he has to buy the Jews from concentration camps to labor camps and feed them and keep them safe until the Jews are liberated from the war. He uses his money as a way of getting the Jews out. For social and cultural identities, there are racial, gender, age, religion, sexual, physical ability identities. For racial, obviously, Jewish people were the main ethnicities that were taken to concentration camps and killed off because Hitler truly believed in racial purity and racial dominance, which was the generic European look that he had in mind, which was blonde hair, blue eyes. And other than that, I guess Hitler truly believed that Jewish people did not fit into that category the most. So he took them into concentration camps, and his goal was to kill off as many Jews in Europe. For gender, although the duties of male and female Jews in concentration camps were similar, such as labor duties, they had some differences. Male did more heavy duty work such as architecture, manufacturing, and women did more womanly duties such as household duties and cleaning and cooking, and often they were taken as whores for the Nazi soldiers' pleasures. For example, Helen Hirsch was taken by Amon Goth to his house to be his servant and take care of his pleasurable needs. But later on, Amon develops his love for her by how he is mesmerized by her. For age, for the Jews that were captured, usually the elders were killed off first because they were seen as useless or worthless. And children, they weren't given an easier time just because of their age. It didn't really matter what your age was unless you were really old. So even children were killed, and people were literally killed for doing something right, doing something wrong. Children were no exception. For religion, most Jews are known for believing in the religion Judaism. Since Hitler truly believed that all Jews must be cut off, he also believed that the religion Judaism should be cut off. So he did not allow anyone to celebrate Judaism holidays, traditions, or even celebrate Hanukkah. And for sexual orientation, although it was more taboo and not more clear and confident for people to come out as gay or lesbian, if they did, they were immediately killed off because Hitler believed that those people were impure or disgusting, which is very different from nowadays. For physical ability, people who were sick or disabled were first to also get killed off. For example, in the movie, you can see that doctors and nurses immediately poisoned their patients because they knew that the Nazis would want to kill them first, because they wanted to let their patients at least die in peace instead of brutally getting murdered with guns and feeling the pain. For communication styles, there are verbal and nonverbal. For verbal, Nazi soldiers usually spoke in high context and indirect styles by not letting the Jews know where they were going or what their fate was. Jews truly believed that they would go to concentration camps, stay there for a while, go back home, and live their life the same way. They had no idea that they would be taken there, tortured, killed, or separated from their families. For nonverbal, they were paralinguistics, physical appearance, and eye contact. Paralinguistics is how you speak, like your tone, your volume of your voice. So for Nazi soldiers, their voice was mostly low and very loud to assert dominance. And for physical appearance, Nazi soldiers were very clean clean cut and well groomed, while Jews were in rags, and most of them had to have their head shaved. And also, Nazi soldiers made them wear the Star of David patches on their breasts so that they could identify them easily. And for eye contact, Jews were scared or not allowed to have eye contact with Nazis or any Germans or any people that were not Jews, because that would also mean that it was showing disrespect. And for power, obviously, power was very important because that's how the whole World War II started, when Hitler wanted to have absolute power over all over Europe with pure Europeans only and no Jews at all. So power is an important dynamic in the movie, and during World War II, the soldiers really showed the hierarchy power when they were power among the soldiers. So the highest ranking soldier would usually be able to determine everything that was going on in the camps, and the soldiers would follow. From the movie and paper that I wrote, although I already knew a lot about the Nazis, the Jews, World War II, and the Holocaust, I was able to get that feeling of great sadness and sympathy for the people that were killed off just because of their religion, their race, their age, their physical abilities, their sexual identities. And obviously in the future we can better communicate with other culture groups and identities. However, these happenings are happening all over again. As we know, in China, Middle Easterns are taken to concentration camps, which show that we have not advanced that much, and our communication with other cultural groups and identities is not the best still. We can communicate in a way that's non-violent and not without murder and hurting people because of a stereotype or a generalization, or just killing them because of their race, something that they cannot control. And even if it is something they can control, it is something that they believe in or they choose, especially for religion or something like that. And we can just continue to communicate in a more civil manner where you can talk about each other's differences and respect each other's differences. All three academic journals I used were from EBSCO. One was called Hitler, Stalin, and Patriotism, a comparative analysis, part 2. And the second one was called The Condition of Jews in the Time of the Holocaust and its Aftermath as Reflected in Published Memoirs. And the third one was The Holocaust Experience of Western Poland, Journal of Ecumenical Studies. And obviously I also used our textbooks for reference.